In today's video, I am going to share what I actually made in the month of October. And also the money I made in the month. If it is your first time here, welcome. If you're a return viewer, welcome back. Structure of this video, because I have a lot you can see here. So I will share what I'm wearing. I will share what I made in the month of October. I had one knitting project and I had a crochet project. I had a theme for the month of October actually. The theme was dress my table. That's why we're here. That's why we are making this video next to a table, and you can see the table is well dressed. So I share the crochet and dress my table story. Then I'll talk about the yarn that I used, and I will talk about what I started making in the month of October and I never finished it, and also the money I made in the month. So make sure to watch this video until the end because it's going to be a lot and interesting. And I'm also hoping that by the time you finish watching this video, you feel motivated maybe by the money I made, or you'll figure out what your next project is. Okay, so let's start. We start by what I'm wearing now. It is so warm that I can feel it. You can see my little sweat. But we're not changing, we're keeping it all. I started crocheting in the month of August. I dedicated the month of August to learn how to crochet. And this particular top that I'm wearing is a crocheted top. The very first I ever made crocheted top. I used a tutorial from YouTube. I will link that YouTube in the description so that if you like it so much and you would like to make yourself one, then you don't have to struggle looking for them. Because I'm not doing a tutorial. The tutorial is already out there. On that tutorial, I did make a few modifications. The first modification that I made was the neck. The neck that is given by the tutorial is a little wider, and I didn't like it because it was getting quite uncomfortable here with the bra. And then the other modification that I did was the bottom. I added this one row with this kind of a finish because I felt it looks very beautiful as opposed to flat like this. So the finished garment at the bottom was going to look like this, but I wanted something cute, so I added this at the bottom. I also made this a size bigger than me, and so I tucked it here just for shaping. And those are the only modifications that I made on this top. The length is exactly what she has said on the tutorial. It covers up to here, so it sits on your hips nicely. Very comfortable, very lightweight, simply beautiful. So moving on, let's move to the items on the table. The month was dress my table, and I made quite a bit. So where do I start? Some of these coasters, like I said, I learned how to crochet in August. And these coasters are some of the things that I made in August. These ones I made in August. And I learned how to make these coasters using a tutorial again on YouTube. YouTube University should be your #1 place to go. And I'm going to put the link in the description box below so that you too If you like it, you can make your own coasters. You can learn how to make your own coasters. Now, after learning this, I decided to use the same stitch and method of making coasters to make placemats. And so, for coasters, that's why I made all these placemats. So there's that in that color. This one, wow. We have them like that, then we have that. I decided to try something. And this one also white. The yarn that I used for making the placemats and the coasters is this. I've always called this yarn Biauko, but I was told it is by Aoko. Aoko is a Kenyan lady, and this is her brand, and she is the owner of Osona Yarns. So she started, I think she's a knitter and a crocheter, I'm not so sure. We'll find out. If I find her YouTube, I will link it also, so that you can know who we are talking about. But yeah, this is the yarn that I used for the table mats and the coasters. This yarn is 100% organic cotton, and it comes with instructions. Okay, I love that. It has washing instructions. It also has the length. So one ball like this is 125 meters, and it is 50 grams in weight. The needle size recommended is 3 millimeters. One ball like this, or of this yarn, makes one coaster like that. However, I walked up and down in all the shops that sell yarn. Everywhere I could find, I asked. This is the most affordable cotton yarn that I have used. As I was looking for information about making table mats, making coasters, the highly recommended type of yarn to use is 100%. Why? Because these are items that you're going to place on your table. You're going to get spillage from your food. You're going to have stains, coffee like mine. And therefore, you can actually wash this and rewash without a problem. They also absorb the liquid very well. I actually washed these coasters. I washed the brown with black, and I washed the white with black. I have used it again, so you might find something like that. And you can see that one, they never lost their shape. The color black does not run into white, neither does it run into brown, and does brown nothing. They are good. You can see the browns. This is not washed, this is washed. There is no fading. So for that reason, again, I would recommend this yarn for your placemats. For your other items that you can make with this yarn include, of course, I've seen somebody make a wearable item. They made a top using this yarn. But you can also make items to use in the bathroom. You can like a scrub. You can make a scrub out of this to scrub your face. For people who like to wash their face with a separate item. You can also make a pot holder for your kitchen because it will withstand the heat very well. That's another reason why cotton, 100% cotton, is recommended for items you're going to use in the kitchen, items you're going to use on your dining table, because it doesn't burn. It withholds the heat. So if you have questions about the by Aoko yarn, cotton yarn, organic yarn, and making of the placements, let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, this, I repeat, is the most affordable cotton yarn that I have come across. If you know any other affordable cotton yarn, please let me know, because I'm also looking for bigger skeins and balls and cakes. I'd like to hear from you what you think about this combination of colors. I think it's my favorite combination. Although this one really gave me a lot of problems. You can see, because of changing yarn with every stripe, the joint is not very neat, and also was quite a bit of work making this, because for every row I have to change the color to another one, but the outcome is so cute, I love it. So this one and this one, I just interchanged the color layout. So the inside is mustard and the outside is gray, and here the inside is gray and the outside is mustard, and of course the borders. So where you have the gray at the top, the border is mustard, and where you have the mustard on top, the border is gray. The rest are just two colors that are one main, one border, and that's it. So let's go to the next item that I made for the table. Now it's getting untidy. The next item, I have no way of removing all this. But let's try a bit. The next item I made is a table runner, this one. Now, the story of this table runner, I went and bought this yarn. This is Siga. That is Siga. This yarn is made in Kenya. It is 100% acrylic. It is a 4-ply, and it does give, the weight is 50 grams. The length, not given. It says Fast Colors Anti-Shrink. It doesn't shrink. It is machine washable. And of course, it also gives the color code number, and it gives the lot number. And that is as far as the information given on this yarn goes. So let me just put it here. Yeah, just turn it around for you to see. So I bought this yarn in color gray and color cream because I wanted to make myself a sleeveless top that I can wear inside a blazer, a jacket with my pants. And so I got the yarn. It is super thin. It's very thin. So when I got the yarn, because it doesn't say the needle size, I honestly thought I'll find something that can work with this yarn in my collection of needles. I came home and I found the smallest needle I had was a size 4. This has no recommendation of needle size, and so I started knitting my top with a size 4. And the tension, no matter how much I pulled the yarn, the tension was. I'm a very neat, tight knitter, so I always have to think about the tension that I am putting or need on a garment, because my hands really tighten things. So I started, and I went quite far. I think I went 1 skein of gray and 1 skein of cream, but something was not adding up. Something was not adding up. And because I also knit without a pattern, I look at garments, I like it, I start making it. So the other thing that happened is that because of the wrong size of needle, the garment I cast on became too wide. And at some point I was asking myself, surely, do I really want to finish this and then give it out to someone else? And will they like it as loose as it is? So halfway, I decided, let me try make something different with a crochet and see how it will work. So I went to my crochet bag and picked a size 2.5 and started making this table mat. And let me tell you, 2.5 was so neat, giving me such a neat and tight garment. In this one I have used as half double. It's a half double stitch. Yes, that's what I have used. So it's so neat, so tidy, so like the yarn gives you a very neat finished project, and I just fell in love with what came out of this. So I told myself, unravel the top and mix what you needed to make this. So this is the first item I made with that, with this yarn. And from there, I made coasters. Here we go. So I made those hexagon coasters. I made 2. Then I was like, okay, let's make circular and see. We made circular ones. Made 2. Then I was like, let's make square ones. Square ones. Oh, and another one. Circular, there are 3. So by this time, I had one placemat and like a whole set of coasters in different shapes and sizes. But since I had bought yarn for a whole top, I had a lot of yarn left. And that is how the table runner came by. So I started the table runner with the same stitch. This is not a pattern that you will find online. This is Wamoyo's making. Like I said, I use no patterns. I just like to see things, imagine things, and create. They do turn out very beautiful. So I made this using the same stitch, tight stitch. And when I got to this part, my yarn got finished. So it went to the work in progress corner for a while. Oh guys, now, hey, today is 20th October 2023, Mashujaa Day, and my struggles are not shujaing. So last night, if you follow me on my Instagram, or I don't know when this video will go out, so probably not last night, but if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I went back to this project. So I am trying to make a table runner. When I came up with this idea in my head, I thought I should do it as a very solid table runner. So this is what I'm doing. The stitch is half double stitch, so it's very compact. And I thought, well, the whole table runner can be one solid piece of cloth, but the yarn being very thin and the table runner being very long, I started getting different ideas of how quickly I can finish and how I can make this still as beautiful. So by that time, actually, the yarn also ran out. So when the yarn ran out, I was like, yay, this one is going to the work in progress basket, and I'll have time to think about it as I also restock the yarn. So last night, because I ran out of the other yarn, so I ran out of that, and I was like, since I already restocked the yarn for this, let me get back to it with all the ideas that I had in mind. So idea number 1. This is usually my patch where I try out things for this particular project. So This was made as a coaster but never finished, you can see. So it's the one I'm using now to see how do I add. I want to make the table runner, the solid part, to be in the middle, and then I can have a netish, another design on the sides like this. So I decided to try this. On this side, I picked the stitches from here. I just went straight into the last line of stitches. On this other side, I did like a chain, broken chain, and then I started doing the granny stitch on top. I don't like this. See how it is? It also looks, but of course, because it's also gray on this side. I like this because it's very neat on this. So anyway, after doing all that and somehow liking it, I went now to the main item project and I started doing the same. And then I was like, you know what, Omoyo? You will have to do all this length, all of it, all of this to be able to see how it turns out. I freaked out. I honestly freaked out. So up to there, I was like, let me give this idea another thought. And then I will see whether to progress. So I give it another thought, and here is the other thought. So I told myself, well, what if I made these little flowery circles? This is the finished one, and this is the one I started just the second one. What if I made this? And I used them on the edge somewhere. So that's where I am. Started one, finished it, started a bit of this, left it, and started the second one, and I was like, Kwamoyo, with knitting and crocheting, if the craft is not vibing, if you're not feeling it in your heart, it's not giving you that kamojo of, oh God, that's a really creative idea, put it aside for a while. Otherwise, premium tears, because you'll end up with something that you will have to frog, unravel later, and you won't like that job. You see how long this is. So that's work in progress. Finally, this is one. So this, if you want the pattern, I can write it down. Let me know in the comment section. The measurements will not be in stitches because with that tiny thin yarn, the stitches can be too many to count. So the best way to measure this is by length. So I'll give you the length and I can show you, I can write down what I did to make it. Like it, interested to make your own, let me know. So that is as far as things we made to dress the table. Cotton placemat, cotton coasters, one acrylic table runner, acrylic coasters, and one acrylic table mat. Now, if I am to review this yarn, besides it not coming with all the information that I find necessary, I am that one girl that wants to know the length of the yarn so that I can do my maths nicely. But anyway, even in the absence of that, we crafters shall always find a way. This table runner used 3 of grays and 3 of cream. These ones. The coasters, I can't remember. I can't measure this in terms of, but I think if you have one full like this, you're going to be able to make several pieces of coasters. And if you're mixing colors, even better, you'll be able to make more. I think this one used almost a full of this or 3/4 in gray and in cream because it's so tiny and the stitches take quite a bit. Crocheting is a yarn eater. Yes, crocheting is a yarn eater. So whatever you're making, if you're using crocheting, just know that you're gonna need a lot of yarn. So back to reviewing this here. First thing I would say about it is that it gives you such neat work. Very neat work, it doesn't fluff at all. Secondly, it doesn't lose shape. I've tried to make table mats using acrylic chunky or thick acrylic, and they were folding at the corner. Even if your tension is loose, the chunky acrylic will still bend and you have to block it and still doesn't really look neat. This one gives you neat work. It doesn't fluff. It's so easy to maintain. I've washed this and it still looks so good. Yeah, so easy to maintain. So I think I would recommend this. Good for whether it's hand wash, it's machine wash. It's also very good for hanging to dry. It doesn't change shape. And if you use a machine dryer, you're going to be keeping this. What did I like about it? It's not that I didn't like about it, but it's so tiny. It takes so much time to just see results. Like doing a whole row is a lot of work. It does that. The other thing I didn't like about it, some people told me maybe it's my crochet that I'm making it quick. That maybe if I use plastic or wooden or bamboo, it wouldn't quick. I don't know. I use metal, coated metal, and nice. So if you're one of those people who doesn't like that sound, it irritates your ears or your teeth, yes, this is going to give you some. I think that's it when it comes to placemats, when it comes to table runner, the posters. I still have a lot of yarn left, especially this cotton yarn by Aoko Yarn. I have it left. I'll figure out what to make, whether to make more placemats. If you have any questions up to now regarding this, dressing the table, let me know in the comments. So keep asking for these questions. Now, from there, let's go to what I cast on in October and I haven't finished. If you follow me on Instagram, even on YouTube, my shorts, this has featured. So, this yarn is Yarn Art Flowers Alpaca. It's 20% alpaca and 80% acrylic. I bought this yarn like I think in May or April. That's when I bought it. The whole cake cost me 2,600 Kenya shillings, and it is 940 meters long, and it comes with these colors laid exactly like this from the inside, and from the outside you have the last maroon color. I will do an entire video on this, but that's a snippet for you in this video. And I think I started something else, and yes, I also started this. This too was meant to be a poncho, but now with this poncho I wanted a collar that I can fold, so it was meant to have now. And see the mat I have done. This is a whole skein of yarn, but what I discovered is I am using very big needles. These are size 6.5 millimeters thick. The yarn is doing well with this size, but it's too heavy. I think if I used needles size 5, I will still get a nice item, and yeah. So most probably this will be unraveled and we will start again. This yarn hasn't been lucky with me because this is the third. That will be the third time. I started a crochet item with it, wearable item. It was meant to be a top, didn't go well at all. And I decided, let me do something else. And I even went and bought more yarn to be able to do something else. See where we are? Yes. So those are the projects started in the month of October. They were knitting projects, although the month of October was a crocheting month. Now let's go to, did I make money? So did we do did I make money or acquisitions? Let's do acquisitions. There's a reason this has stayed unopened for weeks. And the reason is so this yarn, this has been in my stash. I have 2 of this. And this was also in my stash. I had 2, I bought 2. So I told myself, these projects will have to be done, I will finish. I started getting ideas for bigger projects. And 2 of these cannot do the bigger project ideas. So I decided, let me go and look for yarn that I can, solid colors that I can mix with this to make a cute project. So I have 2 of this, and I went and bought that red and that gray. Because you can see this has more gray, more red, it's a mix. So the idea is to mix this, either the 3 of them or mix 2 and 2. And now I have 4 skeins of yarn and my ideas have started changing. What I had in mind when I was going to add this has changed. Now I feel like casting on socks. So if I'm going to make socks, I could make 2 pairs here. Or by the time I get there, I'll have new ideas. So those are my custom, those are my acquisitions. So now, finally, this is what you've been waiting for. Did I make money in the month of October? Yes, I did. So in the month of October, I sold 3 items. I sold the scarf that was ordered. I sold a neck warmer that I had made, I think in July. And I sold 1 set of this. So it's 4 placemats and 4 coasters. In total, I collected 7,000. In that 7,000, there is my labor and there is the cost of the yarn. For someone who's looking to monetize their work, this is how I do my pricing. So in Kenya, our pricing does not factor in the hours you spend making it. Charge the labor or profit. For countries where you charge per hour for the work you make, I guess those guys are able to make good money, because this work you're seeing here takes a lot of time. It does take So in that 7,000 that I made in the month of October, there is the cost of yarn and there is my labor. I charge labor. I charge labor depending on work. So I don't have a fixed price for the labor I will charge you. I'll look at the item you want me to make for you, how long it takes me, and I will charge labor according to that. I wouldn't do it per hour, but I'll be able to compensate my work that I put in. There is no time you'll be able to compensate your 30 hours of work, 40 hours of work, but you'll be able to make something that rewards the time you put in. The other reward comes from how much you enjoy making items. So for me, the first reward is how much I enjoy knitting and crocheting, and of course, I factor in something to reward the time that I put in. So if you're looking to monetize your work and you have more questions, again, in the comment section down below, ask those questions. I think that's the end of today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have learned something. I hope you have figured what project you want to make next, because this channel is supposed to help you in that by either helping you choose a yarn that now you comfortably feel I can go and take that. I'm not taking a risk. I'm not going to buy yarn and then things are not going to turn out right and I feel like I lost it. I am here to help you make a choice of yarn. Invest your money wisely, because I'll have made the mistakes for you. I'm here to help you choose a project. Maybe when you see the project I have made and you're like, I like that, I like to make that, feel free to do that. Although I don't use patterns, I haven't started writing my patterns. I am still perfecting my skill, and so I will always share the tutorials I use so that you can use them and get something that is well done, and instructions I put to make a finished product, a good product, wearable product, fashionable product, beauty product. But when I grow to being able to write my own patterns, I will. The only reward you can give me is a tag saying, I saw this and what will I do next? This is where I got the information from. I will appreciate that if you can do that. So for now, it's bye-bye. My coffee is cooled now. I need to heat it up. And until the next video,